Welcome back, it's me Lou. For today's video, it is going to be a double feature as we showcase two of my custom action figures. So if you've been watching my channel before, you'll remember that a few months ago I started making some custom Marvel Legends Reavers action figures. The Reavers are a villainous team comprised of cyborg mercenaries and bounty hunters. They're the sworn enemies of the X-Men, and they're really badass, and I wanted the entire team. Hasbro has given us a couple of the characters, but they haven't given us everything. So for me, my goal was to make the entire core team, and we're going to take a look at two of the figures that I made. So first off, the figure on the right, this is Skullbuster. This is a Reaver Trooper that I featured a few months ago, so some of you will remember that I already talked about this guy. But the reason why we're showing him off now is because in addition to making custom Reaver action figures, I also made custom boxes. I love displaying my figures mint in box, and I kind of just wanted custom boxes for all my Reaver Troopers that kind of matched, so that when I displayed them together, it looked really cool. It looked like a, almost like a series or an official wave. So I designed the box, and I thought it'd be fun to call it Legends of Marvel as opposed to, Marvel Legends. And since it's about Legends, I thought it'd be fun to feature graphics from the original comic books. So behind each character, you'll notice that there'll be an image from an actual comic that depicts the character that's featured. So for Skullbuster, I grabbed a page from X-Men number 248. That's the image behind here. And if you flip the box over, you'll see the image in all its glory without it being covered. And we have Skullbuster in the middle. And we have the Reavers. This is only half of the team. But this specific panel has Skullbuster right there. And then here's my Skullbuster figure. In the video that we featured before that had this guy, my custom Skullbuster is composed of the original Marvel Legends Skullbuster head, but it's attached to a Marvel Legends Cable body. I believe this is the first version of Cable that we got. I customized it by, I want to say I swapped out the hands, I think. No, I take it back. These might have been the stock hands. I made shoulder pads that attached to the body armor, and then I just glued on a bunch of bullets just to make them look a little bit, I don't know, more badass. The guns here, I believe, are from the G.I. Joe Classified series Gung Ho, and it's a pretty solid dude. There's Skullbuster. So yeah, nothing new here. We've talked about this figure before, but I just wanted to show him off again since I had the custom box. Let's package him away. And then up next we have my custom Marvel Legends or Legends of Marvel Donald Pierce. So Donald Pierce is kind of like the mastermind and leader of the Reavers. And oh man, I had a brain fart right now. I kind of lost my train of thought. So yeah, here's my custom Donald Pierce, and we did get an official Hasbro Marvel Legends Donald Pierce, but that was part of the, I think it was a San Diego exclusive box set that featured the Hellfire Club. And I do have that Donald Pierce figure. Let me go grab it. Here is the official Hasbro Donald Pierce action figure. So the thing with this figure is that this costume represents a very specific era of X-Men. This is Donald Pierce in his Hellfire Club uniform. It's a very Victorian era style of clothing, as you can see, with the very vintage looking jacket. Has the long coattails, has the ruffles and the scarf. But this isn't really necessarily Donald Pierce the Reaver. You know, I really wanted to make a custom that reflected Donald Pierce the Reaver and the leader of the Reavers. So that's where this guy comes in. Let me grab the character sheet from one of the Marvel Universe guidebooks. So the handbook to the Marvel Universe, here's an illustration of what classic Reaver Donald Pierce looked like. So Donald Pierce is a cyborg, but when you look at this, nothing about this says cyborg. He almost looks like Ozymandias from like the Watchmen. So they kind of updated this later on, which is this image right here. So as you can see, there's some similarities. And my goal when I made my custom Donald Pierce figure is I wanted something that looked along these lines, but a little bit more updated, a little bit more modern. I do like the color scheme of the gold, the blue, and the purple, so I kind of wanted to retain that. And then the figure I ended up using was the Hasbro Fortnite Midas Rex. So that was the base body for my figure. And then the head I used was from a Marvel Legends arcade action figure. And that was the long-haired arcade hair. So, yeah, here's my custom Donald Pierce as a Reaver. It's not perfect. I know people are saying, oh, it doesn't look anything like him. It's my take on the character. It's a little bit more modern. You know, it's like I said, I kind of want to like pull certain elements that evoke this costume and this costume right here. You know, this was the best I could find in terms of a base body, and I still wanted to make sure that it was a Hasbro product, so it kind of fall in line. So the body armor, you know, it's not a perfect match, but for me it's good enough for now, or at least until, you know, Hasbro gives us an official like Donald Pierce Reaver figure. I mean, they did give us an official Donald Pierce, but it's, you know, him in his Hellfire Club Victorian garb. So I just wanted something that looked a little bit closer to, like, you know, what we've seen in the past, you know. So I kind of wanted to pull the purple cape from the classic costume. I kind of wanted to incorporate some gold and blue, much like the old costumes had also. So for this figure, I really wanted to deck out the torso blue altogether. But the issue with this is that if I painted this blue, the paint would rub off. You know, there's the joints here. It's a loose joint, but the pieces, they really rub together. And the last thing I wanted was to like deal with like paint rub and the paint like flaking off. So the parts I did paint blue were the areas I knew that they wouldn't be affected by like the joints being moved around. The cape, which was a pretty close match in terms of color to the original one here, I pulled from the Age of Apocalypse Morph action figure. So, you know, it's all right. It's not perfect, but like I said, you know, for me right now, it's just about having a placeholder. I just want a placeholder until Hasbro, you know, eventually gives us like the real deal. You know, fingers crossed. I hope that they do. All right, so let's wrap this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So, until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And as a quick reminder, be on the lookout for the other videos. Like I mentioned at the start, I made customs of the entire core Reaver team. So in addition to the Skullbuster and Pierce, I've made Bonebreaker, Pretty Boy, Skullbuster, Cole, Reese, and Macon. So there's going to be videos showcasing all those figures. It's a fun time. And thanks for checking this one out, and I'll talk to you later.